Hello, I'm the nostalgia critic guy. Remember it so you don't have to. You know, sometimes you get all the right ingredients together and yet you end up asking yourself, how the hell did I get a cake like that? Bruce Almighty, I have no doubt, is probably liked by a fair amount of people, and I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say most of them grew up with it. But I think most people can agree it's not on the same level as other Carrey comedies like The Mask or Dumb and Dumber. But why is that? It came out in 2003 when Carrey wasn't at his box office peak, but was still a huge draw. It was from other Carrey collaborators who made some enjoyable hits in the past, and the premise just sounds funny. Jim Carrey takes over as God. But most people agree something just felt off. Its Rotten Tomato score from critics and audiences isn't that strong. Despite a great opening weekend, the second week was a bigger drop than usual for a Carrey flick. And like I said, it's just not talked about much when discussing other great Carrey comedies. So, what is it about this film that just doesn't feel right? Well, let's use divine intervention to find out. This is not the worst, but still pretty awkward, Bruce Almighty. Now I'll say this as the credits roll, I don't think I've had a movie signal to me so quickly this just wasn't gonna be my kind of comedy. Jim Carrey in a hairnet? He doesn't wear hair, that's silly!
God, why do you hate me?
And that's the idea of the movie! This film's jumping right to the fun stuff! We see Carrey playing reporter Bruce Nolan, who mainly covers puff pieces like the world's biggest cookie. Certainly a lighter story you would see on the news, but even the way this is handled feels odd. So two things went through my head while watching this. One, maybe the world's biggest cookie isn't that funny. It just makes me hungry for what I think Chips Ahoy should taste like, and then disappointed when I remember what Chips Ahoy tastes like. Second, stop me if you've heard this one, Jim Carrey really is too over the top for this. Now, like I've mentioned before, this can work great when properly motivated, like the lovable loser in The Mask or a selfish lawyer getting his comeuppance in Liar Liar. But here, he's supposed to be a snarky reporter who wants serious stories to cover, and I just don't buy it.
Sucks. It's a story about a cookie. I have no credibility. Not good. Not good.
When Bill Murray had to play a similar role in Groundhog Day, he mostly stayed professional, but you could tell there's that cynicism trying to get out and let people know he's miserable.
So I guess the question we have to ask ourselves today is, does Phil feel lucky?
This is your third year in a row, isn't it, Phil?
4, Nan. 4.
Carrey either makes it painfully obvious he doesn't want to be there, or painfully obvious he does want to be there. Going more for what's big and silly as opposed to what's believable, which I don't think is what this movie needs.
It's a good thing we're wearing these today, because I wouldn't want any stray hairs to fall into the booger. Moving on!
Jennifer Aniston plays his girlfriend Grace, who does what she does best, giving a great performance with a script that clearly doesn't deserve a great performance. See if this sounds familiar. She's the emotional support for the goofy main character.
Bruce, you promised that you would help me with this photo album. Now you get your goofy butt over here.
And again, she does a great job, but because Carrey's performance always feels like a performance, it makes it hard to believe their chemistry.
Time to get up.
This movie needs a nap. This is kind of like in She-Hulk, where the main character complains about nobody taking her seriously when she does everything in her power not to be taken seriously. Who in any dimension would look at this guy and say, yeah, his dream clearly is to become a serious anchorman?
And that's the way the cookie crumbles. And that's the way, I like it.
The banter in this movie is called They Want Their Everything Back. Oh, and if anyone thought John Debney's music was overly whimsical in Liar Liar, just going by the score, you'd swear every scene is Winnie the Pooh introducing Tinkerbell to Christmas. It's a mutt pissing. It's pretty low on the magical moment scale.
They stockpile this stuff in a warehouse.
Where did you hear that?
A very reliable friend of a girl whose sister is going out with someone very high up in the government.
Ah, he wants to be a cable news anchor.
Prayer beats. The kids made them for me. They will keep you safe.
It'll protect you from roles with Eastern European accents. Occasionally there is a laugh.
Meeting started without me. This is my luck. This is my luck.
And again, some more good casting with Steve Carell playing Evan Baxter, a reporter who's also after a news anchor position.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
You like jazz, Evan?
I'm sure I Pearl Harbored my comments section on my review of B-Movie. Don't do callbacks. Though if there was a meme to respond to another meme, I guess that'd be it.
Great choice, Jack. This is the Cadillac of baloney.
Okay, thanks.
Well, that guy certainly did something with the one line he had.
Look, Bruce, you're a good reporter. You make people laugh.
Like reporters are supposed to do? Why does everybody think journalism is stand-up? Okay, answer my own questions again.
Our beloved Pete Feynman is retiring.
While doing a story live, he gets interrupted to be told that Evan got the news anchor position Bruce was fighting for. Well, given everything else I've seen from Carrey, I'm sure he'll bring a lot of subtlety to his reaction.
Eroding beneath me! Eroding! Eroding! Eroding!
Making silly faces to the camera is childish and should only be done by YouTubers in their 40s.
Did you feel bad at all letting Leo DiCaprio drown while you were safe floating on the big door?
Okay, that one's pretty good. Want to see the moment when Hollywood start botching that one F-bomb in a PG-13 film loophole?
I'm Bruce Nolan for Eyewitness News. Back to you, fuckers.
That guy trying to swear in Fargo made it sound less weird than him. No surprise, he's fired from his job, but he does stick up for a homeless man being mocked, resulting in himself getting beaten up.
Let's thank God, shall we?
Honey, you know that everything happens for a reason.
That is a cliche. That is not helpful to me.
It's the first believable thing he said. Has anyone ever reacted to that phrase like,
You know that everything happens for a reason.
huh, things do suddenly make a lot more sense, thank you. He of course blames God for all his problems, and I'm sorry, not only is Carrey not believable here, but he is way too unlikable.
I'm not okay with a mediocre life!
So is that what you think that we have?
Don't make this about you.
I'm the only one trying to sink this production. I think I deserve the credit.
It's always about you.
Perfect. I'll have the worst day of my life with a side order of guilt, please.
That wonderful moment when you realize I still have an hour 20 with this character. He uses the prayer beads to ask God for a miracle, but it ends up crashing his car. So he declares that God is the one who should be fired. Then suddenly he starts getting paged constantly from an unknown number.
Oh, God.
Does this guy do anything normal? I'd swear he swat a fly with a flamethrower. He eventually calls the number though, and apparently he's getting offered a job at a strange location. And I know it's not fair comparing Jim Carrey to Bill Murray, they both have completely different styles, but when a news anchor steps in a puddle, it's impossible not to connect it back to Groundhog Day. And guess who did the reaction better?
Oh! Come on! Look! What is that? What is that?
You know the idea of acting is pretending a camera is not on you, right? He runs into a janitor played by Morgan Freeman, who asks him to help with the floor, but Bruce says he'll have to give him a rain check.
I'm free on the 7th. That's 7.
7th, that's 7 it is.
And yeah, okay, I like God as a janitor. I think that's a pretty cool idea. And as Bruce goes further up, he sees the same man in a fine suit. And I'll totally admit I was a janitor when this film came out, so this line kind of stuck with me.
People underestimate the benefit of good old manual labor. It's freedom in it. Some of the happiest people in the world go home smelling to high heavens at the end of the day.
Granted, the way you leave that job could also lead to some happy moments. He introduces himself as God, and it is weirdly an understatement to say this is very good casting. Freeman plays this role so naturally, and seeing how we've heard his voice through countless narrations, it does make sense he would represent the ultimate voice.
Oh, I know quite a lot about you, Bruce. Just about everything there is to know.
And yeah, I hate to keep bashing on him so much, but Freeman's pitch-perfect delivery really does reflect even more how irritatingly off Carrey's delivery is.
I'm God.
Bingo! Yahtzee! Is that your final answer? Our survey says...
Freeman's so good, I really do believe he's the creator looking at his creation thinking, I really should have had him born with a bottle of Ritalin in his hand. Again though, some of these bits are good.
Okay, how many fingers am I holding up?
7.
Ah, the first AI special effect. I'm sure you know where this is going. Bruce thinks he can do the job better, so God gives him all his powers to prove it.
When you leave this building, you will be endowed with all my powers.
You know, I think there's some dictators and war criminals slaughtering countless families, but yeah, focus your attention on this guy sick of doing big cookie stories.
Excuse me, I need a spoon.
God's powers are similar to the devil's sometimes. You keep relying on food jokes. I do not think it is funny as you think it is funny. God decides to explain the rules to Bruce before he takes over, as he says he can't tell anyone he's God and he can't mess with free will. Alright, for the light comedic setup this movie has, those are simple and memorable rules. There is a decent idea in this. Bruce mainly uses his powers to treat women like objects, get revenge, and commit horrific acts under the guise of peace. He only read the Old Testament.
Hey, little anal-dwelling butt monkey.
Ah, how my mother would greet me every morning. Bruce returns home and gives himself a romantic evening with Grace, bringing the moon closer for atmosphere, and yeah, I will admit, these two bits crack me up. Cut to their bed in the basement of the building. However, it turns out moving the moon caused tsunamis in Japan. That's kinda so awful I got a snicker at it. And yeah, every comedy for a while had to have a silly pet scene to end their trailer on.
There's something about Mary.
Christmas with the Crank. Bruce Almighty.
We really need that style for other genres.
Old Yeller.
Maybe not. He tries to get his job back by accidentally discovering the body of Jimmy Hoffa and coincidentally having a camera there to cover it. He does immediately get his job back as he keeps stumbling into amazing story after amazing story during his puff pieces. He also sabotages Evan's reports, and I'm a simple guy. Combining Steve Carell's funny voices with Jim Carrey's funny faces makes my dopamine giggle.
What about the chip?
Every movie gets at least one pass to be 5 years old for a second. Bruce takes Grace out to a fancy restaurant as she thinks he's finally gonna propose. Gee, I wonder what giving her that idea.
Grace. Yes. I got anchor.
Oh wait, I also forgot the engagement ring. Promising me the role of lead on-air personality. You're jumping to some weird conclusions. Bruce has to be completely unlikable in another department though, answering the prayers he's constantly hearing in his head. He tries to keep track of them in different ways, which again leads to some creative imagery. And he finally figures out to convert them into emails.
I better manifest some coffee.
Hola, Juan Valdez.
I think we all know how Satan would manifest his coffee.
Now that's fresh mountain-grown coffee from the hills of Colombia.
Now that's a big paycheck they must have gotten for that product placement. He tries answering them all, but doesn't even make a dent, so he just says yes to all of them. Afterwards, Bruce celebrates his victory at a party. Yes, sorry, Man of Steel religious imagery. Maybe you were subtle. And we get this bit of stupid.
Whatever, comic.
Now, you could say he wasn't really pushing her off, so he was thinking about cheating on Grace, or you could say he was forced upon and Grace just happened to walk in at the exact wrong moment. So take your pick. You can either hate it because they made an unlikable character even more unlikable, or you can hate it because it's the mother of all forced and contrived plot points. Either way, I don't feel shit for anyone and I'm just annoyed.
You can't leave me! I'm the alpha lady! I'm the Omega baby!
This guy makes me want to say, you know, maybe Joffrey got a bad rap. He changes his mind, though, and keeps trying to use his tricks to win her back. He partakes in what's commonly known as YouTuber therapy.
Love me. Love me. Love me!
All that's missing is a mirror and crying. As it looks like all the prayers he answered yes to are backfiring, as when everybody gets what they want, nobody gets what they want.
Well, you're right on time. 7 o'clock.
Why, I can't believe this came back into play! Seriously, the score to Care Bears would kick this soundtrack's ass.
Alrighty then.
Well, you can quote other Jim Carrey movies you like in the hopes of confusing you into liking this one.
You want to see a miracle, son? Be the miracle.
And again, even with obvious writing, Freeman's delivery does make the message sound more meaningful and less chicken soup of the soul.
But what if I need you? What if I have questions?
That's your problem, Bruce. That's everybody's problem. You keep looking up.
Nobody ever puts together that Satan is the answer. Bruce tries being a slob like one of us and finds himself being more fulfilled helping out in smaller yet more ethical ways. He even gets Evan his old job back.
In the financial world, things are settling back to normal in what analysts are calling a fluke market fluctuation.
This really is fiction. So okay, show Grace he's changed and hand the reins back to God. That'll take, what, 5 minutes, something like that? Now, this film thinks we're really sucked into the high drama of it, so it's kind enough to give us 20 minutes of this. And yes, it's a slow 20 minutes.
How's Grace?
I really didn't come to chat, okay, Bruce? I came for Grace's stuff. You know what Grace does? She prays. Most of the time for you.
Dear God, please help Bruce find himself, find contentment, find you.
I don't want to hurt anymore. Help me forget. Help me let him go.
I want you to decide what's right for me. I surrender to your will.
God, The Majestic was so long and melodramatic, it's working its way into the following Jim Carrey movies.
You win. Please. I don't want to do this anymore.
Pure Flix has less crying about God and relationships. He accidentally gets hit by a truck because this movie needs to be dragged out further. And not to show off Carrey's acting, but Carrey's acting.
But why? Why now?
No, really. Count how many lines he says in a bassy whisper.
What do you want me to do?
Use them.
Peace to all of mankind.
What do you really care about?
Grace.
You want her back?
No. I want her to be happy. I want her to find someone. I want her to meet someone.
Now that's a prayer.
Through your eyes. Yeah.
This is becoming AS Jim R. He's brought back to life after he says he just wants Grace to be happy, and guess what? Grace is only happy when she's with him.
I was such an idiot. It's okay.
I don't know what I would have done.
What a charming story this will be to tell our divorce lawyers. These two are awful for each other!
Now you're just showing off.
They end up getting engaged, and of course, his first puff piece back is talking about how important it is to give blood.
Reminding you to... You heard him.
I'm counting that face he made as a visual bassy whisper. And I don't know, here's a twist, I guess. So the next homeless person I see could be... Oh wait, no, he's wrong. Anyway, this movie sucks. I'll be honest, it's a little worse than I remember it. On the one hand, yes, this is supposed to be a very lighthearted comedy. You're not supposed to think that much about it. And had it stuck to that, maybe I'd be more lenient. But A, it's not that funny. Even by the low bar of believability it establishes, I just don't see any of Carrey's reactions as genuine, or relatable, or even absurd enough. And B, it doesn't just stay a lighthearted comedy. It tries to go deeper, and it's not very good at it. It comes across as a little too self-important, which you can have a hint of in a comedy like this, but the last 20 minutes is so boring and really does take itself too seriously. However, I will say, I don't hate the movie. The simple message is fine if you don't think too hard about it. And there are some good performances, but a lot of it just comes across as really awkward. I don't think this is Carrey's worst movie. Hell, I don't even think it's his worst comedy by a long shot. But I will say if this film wants to be seen as one of the greats, it doesn't have a prayer. I'm a nostalgia critic guy, remember? So you don't have to.
Hey, little anal-dwelling butt monkey.